morning Australian time, evening US time. So just going through a quick start off to today's analysis. So here I've opened up, I'm starting on SPY actually, I think, Qs. I think I'm going to start on the Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin defaults that I use are the most traded of the ETFs or plus the leveraged and the dividend BITO. So I'm going to start with BITO, and just I'm just finding my place. So BITO yesterday was neutral green with some profit taking, and today we can see there's a little bit more profit taking here. This is the short DTEs. It's quite a bit of profit taking in there. No, not huge, but definitely jumping out as opposed to winding across. We can see it's dropped out of both at the money, and it's moved out wide a little bit. So I would be cautious for tomorrow. So let's just have a look at the longer dated. So that was the shorter dated, and their positions. There's no profit taking on the really. That's not a long holding position. That's a nothing position here. We've got delta hedging out wide in the higher delta in the money put options, and so my quick is green to, or my analysis is green to amber. With profit taking short dated. Short DTE calls. And we did notice there was some hedging closing there too. Let's just go back and have a look at that. They tend to the hedging, because of the cost of the carry, tends to be done here. And look, we've had just closing of more hedging, so it's long. This profit taking is just because it's had a big jump today, and these people have been in quite short term trades, but there isn't a lot of profit taking really there, even if we went down to 7 days. Yeah, there's really not a lot of profit taking. And that might just be the weekly roll happening. So maybe I'm overestimating that. We're definitely seeing a reduction in short-term hedging reduced. Just check GBT. So back here in BITO, the DPI is really only hedging, so it's relating to the buy here. We can see that it's not giving us anything in any buy signal. It's just the hedging of the increase in the price. GBTC, this is short dated. Yeah, I saw this yesterday. I don't know. I just don't think that's going to be a relevant section. I think it's probably more likely that we'll finish our hedging there, and this is just short dated delta hedging by a market maker or a dealer or someone who's holding position. Longer dated, this is 31 days plus. This is delta hedging. This is strengthening and positioning, and you can see that this is a good indicator. So GBT, so the grayscale ETF or fund, has a strong. So I'm just going to put it in my notes here. Has a strong. I'm just going to enter it so I can see it next time. GBTC strong long correlation information on bottoms. Hedging. Next. It's relatively new in the options, so these things are always take a while to get up there. And alright, we'll go to muster. Muster's screaming, even though I don't know what my fear is. That I have a fear that Sailor is over leveraged at the moment, and the market might start to discount that soon. I'm not certain, but it's the feeling I get. So longer dated, we've just got a little bit of rolling across. That's just the deltas rolling across because it moved again 10% today. I'm not filtering anything here. I mean, I could filter, but I really don't have to. The filtering is really tops and bottoms. Once you're in motion, once your market is trending, the filtering becomes a little bit irrelevant. This here is a weak roll, or the roll has gone out to over a month, which it may well have. But in both cases, we've got a weak roll in short-dated hedging. People have just let the hedging expire, I would expect, and they're probably just profit taken at the end of a good week on muster, and then we've opened up some new longer positions. As we saw, there was strong long positions opening. Just have a check on that. Yeah, just it's strong. You know, we've got 19,000, so many more. Not a great deal of delta hedging there. There's people locking in some of that position, rolling it up, which you can do in muster and you can do in gold when they're moving. Sorry, that was just a phone call going past. So muster, I'm going to just, so we've gone GBT, we've got continued long. Bitto, we had neutral, still looking neutral at it. GBT looks, muster looks long to me, and so it's continued. I don't think there was anything to see really in muster. Let's just have a look and see if there's anything dodgy in any of this stuff. It's really well bought in the bottom of there, and it's just a bit of a squeeze in the IV there. So I think that the Bitcoin group really is just continuing. The hedging's come off, so it's just continued green, long, hedging reduced. And it's strengthening longer DTE calls. And then in the miners, we'll just start with Riot. Yeah, it's very difficult to tell at these early jumps in the market whether it's related to the bonds rates. We got a really good punch out of the bottom there, and you can see quite quickly Riot came into this higher gamma. I don't know whether that's what slowed it down or it's just the so this is the longer data, again very strong delta hedging. It's a pretty good roll, I reckon. This has just been rolled up. If we just whacked in a 0.5 there, so there's really no difference here. This is, yeah, just a so Riot's looking strong, and it's starting to look quite long too. Let's have a look at here. This is the 31. So long positioning, long, neutral, short. I do all in the plus 30 days that's really where the game is being played in the long positioning. And still, it's still very neutral. But this was very heavy, this hedging coming out of this very strong lateral movement, and now it's really much looser. So the gamma that we're seeing in today, or the gex that we're seeing in today, is really being driven by the 61,000. Yeah, look, it's not just by this repositioning. Might just be that the market makers have just moved that across too much. When I say moved it across too much, the market makers at the last monthly in December have just changed this positioning. So they've put on a couple of extra strikes, and that's just moved it across laterally, which is one of the issues with the delta organising that we do. So we can see here it's really just come off the bottom, but it's holding a pretty similar ratio to what it was holding before. We can see that this has dropped proportionally, but then in the third, yeah, look, I still think it's neutral. I suppose that's got something to do with the Russell. So right, neutral, green, strong hedging. It's just continued. It's a good week that we had a good weekly roll. So I don't think there was anything untoward in the starter here. Just great. It's just been bought so well. So just moving here. Oh, I haven't put it in. Yeah, sorry that we're still trying to take so much data out of the system to speed it up. Again, Mara had a great jump out of the bottom there, and look, it really hasn't. It's got its price up. It really, yeah, look, the gamma has got up quite a bit, hasn't it? Yep. Again, there's the Mara. I mean, yesterday I decided I was going to call it long, but maybe I've jumped. I can't see really obvious adding of strikes there. I just think just a whole lot of gamma has rolled off after this lateral price movement that we had for months, which is good. We needed that to happen. So we carried on quite a lot. This was the bottom that was sold, which I discussed from the 31st. Don't know why that's clicked back to there, but anyway. Hasn't clicked. So we just have a look at what happened with the hedging in short, and just a continuum there. That's the long dated, and we can see in the long dated here, if we put in that filter on 0.5 really shows us the longer positioning, that it's pretty static. That has probably grown a little bit. Here we can see it's quite strong. There's a little bit of lost in the roll there, and look, there's some. That's definitely got, Mara's definitely got some hedging coming in there. Not a lot, but it's very consistent with the part that I would expect, which is 0.7, 0.8 delta. So there's 0.7. Let's go to 0.8. Yeah, look, this is 1 delta. So this is hedging. These people aren't so concerned. But these people are trading here, and they've locked that out, which yeah. So hedging is amber. And look, that will be to do with, we've got, what have we got coming out this evening? We've got the JOLTS jobs. So, is that tomorrow? Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, so tonight we've got this tonight, and that's what's really held the market back. I think that the IWM could fly if this is a really poor number in job openings, and if the services have started to drop off. So if services were down at 52 or 51, I think we could start to see the IWM climb again. New orders were really strong in the IWM, in the PMI. New orders, factory transportation. Oh, it was last week. I thought they were very strong. Composite. All right, so that's interesting that Mara's, and we didn't see that in Riot. Let's just have another look in Riot and see why it didn't suffer it. Maybe it's not thought of. There's a little bit there, but not any great deal. Maybe it's had more positions roll off, so it's had a much poorer roll. Hedging is quite amber. Hedging is amber, quite strong. New money, short DTE puts. And in Riot, so I could just go back to Riot, and I could say there's a poorer weekly roll in comparison. In calls. So Bitto and that I'm just going to pause the recording for a minute. I'll be back in just 1 second. I'm back. Sorry, that was just a quick coffee break. I'm back. Just a quick coffee break. So I was just having a quick look at the IWM to see what it was doing. I shouldn't be looking across to try and give myself confirmation bias. I wasn't. I was in a position in the Australian market, and I just wanted to check whether I needed to change it. I did change because of the miners. I did change my position in a miners ETF in Australia. Just looks like we're going to get a pullback, and if not, after the PMI comes out, I'll re-enter the market in an option in the United States. It's good. It's a good little. It's a good thing to have an IBKR trading platform because it trades most of the world, so you can buy and sell in different time zones depending on what the data's come out, on which data has come out. So alright, so Mara hedging is amber, quite strong new short DTE puts, longs holding. Be interesting when we get through the VIX today to see what the VIX did. The VIX was up, and it only really moved, even though we had to go back 5% on Friday, it only really moved down, not out of the zone it's in, and then today it was up a little bit. So here in Wolf, this is Wolf All. It's a difficult one to read, Wolf. Let's just take it a little bit closer and see what it says here. Let's go to about the 20. Maybe even closer. Let's go there. 28th. Oh, this is the 10th. Don't want to be there at all. And so this This is today, and we see it strengthening. This is out here. This is just delta hedging. Because it has very few strikes, it's easier to look at. If you see a lot of very few strikes, it's easier to. It's had a very poor weekly roll. Let's have a look at all. And so it's had a poor weekly roll. Yeah, no, it's lost quite a bit of short-dated hedging there. Yeah, look, it really blasted off again today. Excuse me. It's a big one, big profit taking there. Let's see what it says if we just put in one more screen in there. Still weak. Still big hole compared to the hedging. There's a bit of a buy signal there, so it has rolled up, but I wonder if they're sold. It's going to be hard to tell. 14,000. Yeah. I'm going to keep it amber to green. Just a strong roll up. It's a continued strong roll up, because we already started to see a strong roll up in the short dated yesterday, and it really hasn't jumped yet, so it's not as though it's sliding across the deltas really quickly. We could see here that it was already it was dissipating or closing. Might just be that these were hedging over this period of time. Let's just go back to the bottom and have a look at this bottom a bit wider. They might have just been a hedged period going into this bottom. Yeah, maybe that's what that is. It's just continued through to there because we didn't see a real bottom. The biggest part of the hedging came off there on the 27th. Yep. And then if we go to the 27th, 26th, let's have a look. Well, it looks up a bit closer in. Yeah, it's still, hedging's still coming off. Yeah, so it's going to leave it at neutral, an amber to green. We'll see what that roll up is. Strong roll up, short DT is closing. Strong roll up, strong. It's not even a roll up really, is it? Be that people own the underlying, I don't know. Wouldn't have thought that much. There's nothing really as a gimme there. Although this looks pretty spot on. That's about a standard roll. I would have thought that a lot of that had disappeared into delta hedging in the centre there. Coming off that bottom, they know a bottom's in. Probably just the amount of the money's closing as they work up. Yeah, it's much stronger than what we were just looking at, cipher mining. Strong delta hedging because again it's had these couple of big jumps. It's going to come into a high volume node here. I expect that'll slow it all down. Be interesting to see if we got a really good IWM number, a really good JOLTS number, whether they can get through this high volume node. Yeah, so that's looking pretty strong. So cipher I'm going to put to greenish, to green. I think I only had it on greenish yesterday. Green. Strong. Opening. Long dated. Calls. It's funny that we've only seen Mara have that very strong response in the that's not going to help us. That's what dyslexia does to you. Have to take 3 tries at getting 4 letters right. This is something to do with the graphing. It's one of the nothing we can do with bad graphing from just turns every now and then. I'll turn a ticker upside down from TradingView. Again, this is strong. This is clean spark. This is a strong. The long positioning is strong. It hasn't closed at all. Don't know why it turns some of them upside down. No idea why it does it. Sometimes it flips itself when you play with it. I was doing it yesterday too on on CleanSpark. So CleanSpark again, yes, we've had some come off, but we had a lot open in the longer dated. So a lot came off and hasn't rolled. But again, we've had a strong closing. There's no new short dated there, so it's a strong chart. So it's gone to green. No new hedging to C. Strong long DTE. Open. Long calls opening. Yeah, coin looked fabulous today. Coin. Someone in the room really liked coin. Harry and I were just discussing the charting. Again, coin here in the longer dated is strong. Very strong day. Some of this will be delta hedging out here. But everything here that's rolled looks to me as though it's just delta rolled across. You know, they picked this bottom and they went hard. There's a couple of thousand in there. That's on a stock of this size. That's a healthy. And still, you know, it's still reasonably high. Oh no, it's probably pretty even there with the buying. And then in the short dated. Yeah, I wish I'd bought coin last week. A touch of new hedging going in there. Someone's a bit fearful of the jolts. I don't know why. Not with Bitcoin. We did see it in BitO though, didn't we? I'd love to get a pullback. I owned the miners. I didn't own Bitcoin, even though I knew that I should be in a leveraged Bitcoin position. Stupidity. Neutral green closing of shorts. Short hedging. Hedging mixed. Strong opening. Longer DTE calls. Yeah, I think I'm being paranoid about the staying in a position, and I'll wait and see what happens today. so that's the I don't think there's anything to note there apart from that's a good looking set of charts. The only one that looked a bit worrying was Bito had a bit of extra hedging, and so did Mara, and Riot had a very weak roll, which is similar to hedging, so closing of positions. Alright, so that's the crypto stocks done. I will be back on shortly if anyone wants to watch, extending this out to the Qs and the indexes. Alright, be back soon.